Texas, Georgia. Texas is second year in the SEC, and this is the third time they're playing the Dogs. You want to hear a fun fact? I think the A&M has been in the SEC for 16 years, I think is what the number was. Guess how many times they played Georgia?
Once. I've seen the stat too.
Once. And Texas has done it three times in their second year, which I think is insane.
Yeah, I mean,
It blows my mind.
you know what happened the two times Texas played Georgia last year? Guess how many rushing yards Texas had combined in those games? I think it was like 60 or something.
For
So
both,
Texas is, I believe so. I saw this stat the other day. Hold on, talk about the game.
Arch Manning. Arguably, you could very well make a point that he has significantly improved throughout the course of the season. And to, I guess, Joey's happiness, um, they're the only team I think that's really challenged Ohio State this year. And he sucked then. I think one of the big keys for him this weekend, another major hostile environment he's going to play in after playing in the shoe earlier this year. How is he going to respond to the noise? How is he going to respond to, I guess, playing? Yeah, do you know? I don't know if you have this. Uh, Very mid-ranked pass defense. I mean, we saw the Ole Miss Georgia game go into a shootout. Do you think that this game has shootout potential?
So it was 50, it was about 60 yards each game. I was wrong. But either way, they only ran for 60 yards each time. Anyway, back to Arch. Arch has been much better. If this was the Arch Manning everyone was inspecting at the beginning of the year, could end up being an elite quarterback matchup. No one's talking about Gunnar Stockton for Heisman. He's not flashy. He's not pretty. He plays really well within the offense. I, you're both of these pass offenses are gonna. There's some stuff that they can get on these two pass defenses. Georgia has a pass defense outside the top 50. Excuse me. Texas has a pass defense in the 80s. If you're gonna get it on Texas, it's gonna be through the air. The only problem with that is Georgia does not get to the quarterback very well at all. Texas does. Texas gets to the quarterback very well. They have a very high sack rate. I think their sack rate's like 6%, something like that. Maybe, yeah, 6%, something like that. But Texas has a very high sack rate. They cause the quarterback to get in a lot of pressure. But this will be the best defense Arch Manning has played since the Ohio State game. And he looked very confused, pedestrian. I think the offensive line has looked better for Texas. But Texas has not been a good road team this year. They had two losses to Ohio State and to Florida, and then two wins, close wins against bad teams, which were Florida and Mississippi State. So
They
it
lost to
will.
Florida.
It was Florida, Mississippi State, and maybe Arkansas. I think one of the two. It was Ohio State and Florida they lost to, and then Mississippi State and Arkansas. My apologies.
I think it
But
was Kentucky. They haven't played Arkansas yet.
oh yeah, it was Kentucky. You're right. You're right.
16-13 in Kroger Field.
But it'll be the it'll be a very this is by far the two best defenses these two teams have played all year. Other than Texas playing Ohio State, we'll wipe that to the side. That was very early in the year. Georgia has a lot better running offense this year. Whereas Texas is really good at, they're good at run defense. And I think a big key in this game will be how much separation, how much separation can these wide receivers get? I think it's going to be really about the quarterbacks and the pass catchers in this game. I saw a stat, I forget who it was from, but Stockton and Manning are both top two in the SEC in pass attempts behind the line of scrimmage, meaning that they get the ball out behind the line of scrimmage and they let these athletes make big plays. So I have a hard time seeing Texas. And one more thing, which coaching staff do you trust more in this spot? Georgia, who's
Kirby,
nearly impossible to beat at home, or Sark, who has not been very good on the road this year?
Kirby.
And it's a great luxury to have. You haven't earned the right for me to choose you over Kirby. So I have a hard time seeing Texas come in this game and keep it close. I think it's going to come down to Gunnar Stockton clutching up, and every time they've needed Gunnar Stockton, he's done it for them. So I will take Georgia. I'll take Georgia with the points. I think Georgia ends up winning this by at least a touchdown.
I like the over. I think this is going to turn into something of what we saw with the Georgia and Ole Miss game, where it's just chucking the ball down the field.
My
Um,
only counter to that is I don't think Georgia's going to be able to run the ball as well.
yeah, I would agree. I'm thinking they're just going to throw it all over the place. You're going to see both quarterbacks throw for like 350.
Let me check what Georgia ran against Ole Miss. Leading rusher had 72 rush yards and Nate Frazier. So uh,
And they had 510 total yards.
Georgia had 221 rushing yards. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near that against Texas. I think the biggest question I have is this Texas front going to put Gunnar Stockton in positions where he's going to make mistakes? And he's rose to the challenge very, very well. And like I said, Texas is top 10 in sack rate. So it'll I think it's going to come down to the quarterbacks, and I trust Gunnar Stockton right now more than I do to Arch Manning.
Do you have a score prediction? I know you said Dogs by at least 7.
We'll do 38-30. Ah, do 35-27. I like that better.
I'm gonna go 35-31 Georgia.
I've seen a lot of people think that Texas is going to keep this really close. I just think Gunnar Stockton's going to make more plays because I thought Ole Miss was going to keep it within a touchdown, and Georgia ended up beating them by 8. I think it's going to be like a backdoor cover for Georgia, is what kind of vibes this kind of gives me.